Hello everyone, today's quiz 3.1 to 3.3 review. Let's get started. Okay, I asked you to do this review for me in preparation for your quiz that's coming up. It's your final quiz for trimester 1. Final major item is 30 points for trimester 1. The A group will be taking it, well, just lock into your teams and your schedule that's given to you during class, okay? All right, let's start with number 1. Write the word sentence as an inequality. Okay, so if you look at this, it says a number x plus 1, so that indicates x plus 1 is less than negative 13. So you're going to put a less than sign and then negative 13. So what they want you to do here is write the word sentence as an inequality and then circle your answer. Okay, you don't need to solve it. You don't need to graph the first section. Number 2, a number t minus 1.6 is at most 9. Okay, so there's that key word here, is at most. And if you're looking at 9, okay, so it's going to be is at most 9. So it's got to be less than, or it could be equal to. So it could be the less than or equal to 9. Okay, so is at most. It could be less than or equal to 9. And you want your expression here, a number t minus 1.6. So t minus 1.6 less than or equal to 9 for number 2. All right, moving on to number 3. Tell whether the given value is a solution of the inequality. Okay, so this is where we're going to be doing some substitution into the inequality and determine if that inequality is actually true. So we're not sure if this is going to be true when n is equal to -1. Okay, so here comes the substitution down. And if you look at n is equal to -1, we'll take 12 times the -1 less than -2. So 12 times the -1 is -12 is less than -2. And your answer there is yes. So substitute, see if your inequality is true, and then follow up with either yes or no to see if the value is a solution. So in this case, n equal to -1 is a solution to that inequality. Number 4, y plus 4 less than -3. Y is equal to -7. Y plus 4 less than -3. I'll move it right about there so you can still see that other one. Less than y plus 4 less than -3. Okay, so you're going to take this -7 and you're going to take that and plug that into your expression on the left there. -7 plus 4. And we're checking to see if that is less than -3. Okay, so -7 plus 4 is -3, and -3 is not less than -3. So in this case, number 4 would be no. Moving on to number 5, graphing. So in graphing, you want to be aware of your closed circle and open circle and the direction of which way you're going with the graphs. Number 5, x is greater than -10. So at -10, we're going to have an open circle, and we're going to graph everything to the right, which would be greater than -10. And it's an open circle because we're not including the value at -10. Number 6, W less than 6.8. W less than 6.8. So let's find 6.8 first. Should be about right about there. Okay. And we're going to put a circle again around that area at 6.8. You can also write 6.8 just below it. Okay. And we're going to graph everything less than that. Less than that. 6.8. And that's page 1 through 6. Let's move right into page 2. Number 7. Same thing. In this case, now we're solving the inequality, graphing the solution. We're doing that for number 7, number 8, number 9, 10, 11. This is the big part of the quiz review and the quiz. Solving the inequality and then graphing the solution. Now, most all these graphs should work out fine. So when we're solving, we have to look out for anything like multiplying or dividing by a negative number, in which we're going to flip the sign because this is also section 3.3. But it's basically similar to solving for an equation. So we're undoing the subtraction of 2 by adding 2. And when we add 2, we have x is less than 6. So if we're going to graph this, we're going to go over to the 6, have a circle, not a solid dot, because we're not including the 6. We're going to graph everything less than. And that'd be number 7. Number 8, g plus 14 greater than or equal to 30. So we're undoing the adding of 14 by subtracting it. We're going to subtract 14 from the left side of the inequality and the right side of the inequality. That gives us g is greater than or equal to 30 minus 14 is 16. So I don't have 16 on here, so we're going to have to improvise here. We're going to go this way. We'll go values of 2. So kind of just take these out here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. We're going to put a solid dot right there at 16. And we're going to graph everything greater than that. And that'd be number 8. Number 9 is h minus 1 less than or equal to negative 9. H minus 1 less than or equal to negative 9. So we're going to undo the subtracting of 1 by adding 1. And by doing so, we have h is less than or equal to negative 8. Negative 9 plus 1 is negative 8. So at negative 8, we are going to include the negative 8 with a solid dot, okay, closed circle. Then we're going to graph everything less than that, less than negative 8. And that'd be number 9. H minus 1 less than or equal to negative 9 is h less than or equal to negative 8. And that's the graph for number 9. Moving on to number 10. 3/2 less than p plus 1/2. Okay, so let's go ahead and undo this adding 1/2 by subtracting 1/2 from both sides. The inverse of that is subtracting 1/2. And you end up with 3/2 minus 1/2 is 2/2, which is 1, is less than, and then this p, this cancels, so you end up with p. So p is greater than 1. So head over to your 1 here. Place your open circle. We're going to graph everything greater than that. Would be the solution to number 10. Moving on to number 11, n divided by negative 6 is greater than or equal to negative 2. Okay, so to undo the division of negative 6, we're going to multiply by a negative 6. And when we multiply by a negative number, that triggers us to reverse the sign of greater than or equal to. So now we're going to change this from greater than or equal to less than or equal to. So our answer would be n is less than or equal to negative 2 times negative 6, which is positive 12. So over here at 12, we're going to have a solid dot because we're including the 12, and we're going to graph everything less than that. Less than 12. And that'd be number 11. And the last page now of 3.1 to 3.3 quiz review, we have one more solving the inequality and graphing. That is -4y is greater than or equal to 60. Let's move to there. So in order to solve this multiplication, you divide by the -4 and divide by the -4. And when we divide by -4, we actually end up reversing the symbol. Goes from a greater than or equal to a less than or equal to. We have y then is less than or equal to 60 divided by -4, which is 15. Okay, so -15. So we're going to have to do some changes to this. Your -15 is down here. Okay. And so we're going to have a solid dot there. And we're going to graph everything less than that. Okay, so that would be the graph for number 12. Sometimes these graphs don't work out perfectly. Okay, let's move down to the last three questions. We skipped 15 and 16. So it says write the word sentence as an inequality, then solve the inequality. Number 13, the quotient, which is division, of a number in x. So in 6, I should say, a number divided by 6 is more than 9. More than 9. Okay, so write the word sentence as an inequality. Quotient is division. A number is x. N6 greater than 9 is more than 9. So in order to solve this, we're going to have to multiply by 6. Multiply by 6. And your answer becomes x is greater than 9 times 6, which is 54. Number 14, 5 times a number is at most -10. There's that is at most again. Okay, so again, we're looking at less than or equal to the -10. Okay, so that's less than or equal to is at most, okay, -10. So 5 times a number would be 5x, 5 times x. And in order for us to solve this, we're going to end up dividing by 5 and dividing by 5, dividing by 5. Okay, so you have x then is less than or equal to -2, -2. And the final question is the area of the triangled garden must be less than 35 square feet, right, and solve an inequality that represents the value of b. Okay, so the area is 1/2 times the base, which is 10, times the height, which is b, must be less than 35 square feet. So it's less than 35. So you have 1/2 times 10, which is 5b, is less than 35. And to solve that multiplication by 5, we end up dividing by 5 on both sides. And your answer is b is less than 7. B is less than 7. So that concludes your 3.1 to 3.3 quiz review. Hopefully you found this beneficial, and we'll talk with you soon. Take care.